Welcome back, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, we're checking out the Hollyland Cosmo C2 wireless pack. This is a dual transmitter to single receiver wireless solution designed to send video wirelessly up to a distance of 1,000 meters, which is 3,000 feet. You also get a super low latency of 33 milliseconds. Anytime I get a wireless pack in, I always love testing out the claims in the real world. So we'll be testing this out in the field coming up very soon, so stay tuned. I've tested a number of Hollyland packs over the last few years, and the C2 takes it to the next level for multi-camera shooting scenarios where you either need to send or monitor video and audio at a distance. Before we get into this video, just a couple of disclaimers. So this pack has been provided by Hollyland for this particular review video. I don't get to preview this video and all thoughts about it on my own. Now, I also reached out to SmallRig to help out with this video as well. So they provided the X99 V-mount battery here, which is on the receiver. They also sent out a couple of really cool MPF style batteries here for the transmitters, and I'll be doing a full review of these coming up in the future, so stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to thank them for sending these out. If you want to take a look at the batteries for this particular pack or the pack itself, I'll link everything down below. At the time of producing this video, the Hollyland Cosmo C2 is priced at $1,299 US for this particular pack, which comes with a really nice selection of accessories and gear, including 2 wireless transmitters, a single receiver, 7 blade antennas that screw in nice and simply just by removing the yellow tabs across each unit. We get 2 cold shoe mounts for connecting the transmitters to the camera. Included, we also get a 12 volt 2 amp DC power adapter that powers the receiver. The receiver can also be powered via a V-mount battery, as I mentioned earlier, and this SmallRig X99 works a treat with this setup. You can also monitor the battery life on the screen of the battery or on the on-screen display of the receiver, which is a huge bonus. The transmitters are all powered with NPF batteries, and I use the SmallRig 4577 for this particular test, and these also allow you to see how much battery life is left on the back. It's pretty cool. One of the huge benefits to NPF batteries is you can find high capacity ones like this, or if you want to travel small and light, you can also find ones that are this small as well. It works great with both. While we do get a USB-C port on the side of the unit, this isn't designed to accept power. It's just designed for the receiver to be detected as a webcam, and we'll talk about that in a moment. How I can see this pack really working is, say someone's doing a comedy show, or they might be doing a live performance with a band. You've got 2 cameras that can roam the arena or event without running cables anywhere. This is awesome. So you can get a nice tight shot with one of them up close to the stage, and then maybe a wider shot, and then mix that in with other cameras. Or of course you can go directly out of this into a computer and live stream directly. So not only can this be used as a dedicated streaming solution on its own, but if you want to run those signals out into a secondary switcher with other cameras, you can do that also. If you've ever been to a festival, running cables around is not practical unless stuff is sectioned off properly. You just don't want anyone pulling on cables. So this is where a wireless pack like this will make a lot of sense. Podcasting setups are getting more and more elaborate. There's a few podcasts I've been watching for years where they've got a roaming camera in the studio where they might answer the door or whatever the case may be, right? And share that with their audience. That's where a pack like this comes in. Again, you're going to save the hassle of having cables running all over the floor. How I see this working for my particular setup would be, next time I go to the shop and I shoot a multi-camera setup through a switcher, I can then use this pack without having to run really long HDMI cables everywhere, which is fantastic. So for me, this makes a whole lot of sense, and it's one less thing to worry about, which is great. Over to the specs of these units and why they matter for wireless packs like this. So the Cosmo C2 allows you to transmit a 1080p or full HD signal up to 60 frames per second at a distance of up to 3,000 feet line of sight with only 33 milliseconds of latency. The C2 utilizes the 5 GHz band and will automatically switch to a cleaner frequency band on the unit by detecting signals and interference in the area. This is a huge feature, especially for situations where there might be a lot of people and a lot of phones. As I mentioned earlier, both the transmitters support both SDI and HDMI, so no matter which camera you're running, as long as it's got one of those, you can easily connect it to the unit directly. Just a quick note, if you're thinking about buying this pack, there's no SDI or HDMI cables included, so you'll need to sort out your own to run it with this particular setup. The receiver has a built-in Ethernet port, and this will work for NDI transmissions for live streaming over networks, or you can connect the receiver via the USB-C port, which is right down this side, and have the entire setup detected as a webcam so you can use it like a UVC streaming device. Now, UVC stands for Universal Connection, I think, and it lets you run it as a plug-and-play device without any sort of drivers required, which is cool. I tested the receiver as a plug-and-play device using Open Broadcast software, and it worked a treat. If you prefer to use RTMP streaming, you can, and it works directly for destinations like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and other platforms. Once you connect the receiver to the network, it pops up a web address that you can then enter into a browser, and then you'll be presented with this screen right here. This also keeps the cable management at a minimum, which is great from the receiver side. All you need is power and a network cable. FPS Booster is another cool feature that allows you to connect either a 1080p signal at 24, 25, or 30 frames, and the unit will automatically upscale it to 60p without needing to adjust the camera. So if you have one camera that supports 60p and the other one might be stuck at 24 or 30 frames per second, then this FPS mode will help them match better and give you smoother footage. For the distance test, I had a bit of a Frankenstein test setup going on, but it easily allowed me to check out how reliable the wireless signal is at a distance. And please also note, the camera that was filming, the little monitor that I had set up with the receiver had mismatched frame rates going on. It was user error on this guy's part, but the image on screen looked great. Now I have my Lumix G9 Mark II and the 9mm f1.7 as my portable camera system with a transmitter hooked up to it. I started walking away from the receiver. I had true line of sight the entire time, and there wasn't a single glitch up to a distance of about 250 meters away. Now, while this is rated to 1 kilometer or 3,000 feet or so, I don't have any test areas nearby long enough to really try that. And given how well it worked in this particular test scenario in an open air environment while moving, I don't think you're going to have a problem with it working all the way up to 1,000 meters. Now, for those wondering, yes, this vlogging setup was killing my shoulder. It was actually quite heavy with this battery pack loaded on top of the camera and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to showcase this pack in a moving scenario rather than just a static shot. And again, static shots are going to be more reliable. There's less things that can go wrong, but I really wanted to push it by doing some movement, and it worked flawlessly the entire time. There wasn't a single glitch. While this unit didn't glitch on me whatsoever, if you're in a situation where line of sight gets broken and it does glitch, you then have two different options that can be presented to the audience. One, it will either freeze the last frame of your stream, or two, you can upload a custom logo to be displayed anytime it glitches. Let's say, for example, using this pack in challenging situations, you can come up with something funny that you can load into this that anytime the stream glitches or drops, that image will be shown on screen, or of course, you can just use your logo. All right, let's talk about the menu system here. So both the transmitters and receivers have their own menu system. From here, you can change a few basic configurations, including 60p mode, scan mode, which picks a frequency based on wireless signals nearby, and the fan options for setting the speed of the fan. The streaming tab allows you to configure the receiver for UVC, NDI, or RTMP connections. If you have the receiver show up as a webcam, it needs to be set to UVC. Lastly, the web option shows the wireless IP address of the unit once connected to a local network over Ethernet. Alrighty, let's wrap this up. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the Cosmo C2 from Hollyland. So build quality wise, everything included in this pack is excellent. The buttons, the connections, the screen, everything, the antennas, they all feel really high quality and well made. And they should, given the price of this. This isn't an entry level pack. The screens are nice and easy to see, and the menus are easy to navigate, which is great. Being able to connect either HDMI signals or SDI signals to these devices is great, and it's very reliable in the distance test that I've done. Maybe the only thing to keep in mind here is the weight difference as soon as you get the pack versus once you attach the battery. So for example, adding a V-mount battery like this is X99. While it's going to give me really long run times, it's also going to increase the weight of this drastically. And same goes for the transmitters. While these MPF batteries are actually quite light, you can see it's going to change the weight if I attach this to either a gimbal or a drone. So these are considerations that you'll need to work out for your particular shooting scenario. If you're going to be doing long duration events, you'll need higher capacity batteries, which means you're going to have something like what I'm showcasing right now. But again, if you're going to be just shooting from time to time in short duration clips, you can get away with much smaller MPF batteries like this. The fact these offer built-in live streaming, you get that LAN port, plug and play connectivity, along with 1,000 meters of wireless transmission. This makes for a really solid high-end pack that performs great. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any comments or questions, and if you want to take a look at any of this stuff, I'll link it down below. Catch you soon. See ya.